Hello people, welcome to a new video on Canadian immigration statistics. Today is 27th of July and this data, this BI actually is fetching data from IRCC, which has been updated up to May 24, so it's kind of 2 months lagging behind, but I think it can be taken as a good representative of what could happen by the end of this year. I've been doing these updates for a while now and I think the trends are quite predictable. They are not shifting, so I'm thinking to reduce the frequency, and that's why the last update I did on IRCC stats was November 23, so it's almost 8 or some months. Anyways, so let's get into it, and the objective of these videos is to help you understand your candidature. Where do you stand in terms of chances of being invited into Canada in case you have applied under the express entry stream. So let's get into it now. From the whole year, from like 1st Jan to May 24 of this year, like 2 months ago, they have issued about 27,000 invitations, and out of which we can see 9,000 are for the people who were in PNP or provincial nomination stream, followed by federal skilled workers, 10,000. So these are almost a near equal split, and a small portion going to the candidates in CEC or Canadian Experience class. So, and then you can like pause the video if you want to have a detailed look. I see similar trend like to 2022. I mean, frankly, I was expecting a higher number, but maybe if I interpolate this 27 over 5, let's do it. So if I do 27 over 5 times 12, so I'm talking about max ITAs of 65,000, which is a simple interpolation. So yeah, we might end somewhere there. All right, so that's one. And then this graphic shows us where the immigrants are settling. So of course we can see Ontario has been a hot favorite of all people. So a big majority, like 2/3 or more, a bit more, goes into Ontario, followed by British Columbia, about roughly 17%, and then finally we have Alberta. Right, so we have Ontario, BC, and Alberta. These three provinces have been hot favorite of new immigrants into Canada. Now, talking about age is very important, as I've been stressing, that if you have to apply for immigration, it's better you do it early. Earlier you do, I mean in age, I'm not saying early like tomorrow, I'm saying as a matter of age. So people, these countries need young people. All right, so you have a higher chance of being invited if you are under 30, and this point is confirmed from this chart. So we can see 46% of people who were invited, they were between the age bracket of 19 to 29. So really young people. I suppose most of them could be students going on a student visa maybe, and then yeah, exactly, so they are going into Canada as a student, then later applying under CEC or try or obtain PNP. So that's the easier way into Canada. So you move in, and then you gain some experience. You work part-time as a student, and then you apply either under CEC or try to find a sponsor who's going to give you job offer, and then you apply under PNP and so on. So about 45% are the people within the age bracket of 30 to 39. Now I think here 39 is misleading because in my experience, after having done my case twice, I did actually in early 40s. Actually I did it sometime when I was 38. Then corona came, everything was like lockdown, nothing happened, and then I applied again. By the time I was 40. So from that experience I can tell you the upper limit here is 37 or max 38, but the way IRCC groups the data for public release, they put an age bracket of 30 to 39. So 39 here is misleading. I think the maximum age that has higher chances, not higher chances, that has some chances of being invited into Canada is 37. Beyond that is quite difficult. You really need to have some extraordinary stuff like PhD, masters, or really high score in IELTS, or your spouse maybe he or she has a She is also educated, has a degree, and has some years of experience, and does good in IELTS. So you combine yourself as a family, and then you apply. So, but in general, beyond 37 is very difficult to immigrate, not only in Canada but also in other countries like Australia and New Zealand. All right, so that's one. But in my opinion, the best age to immigrate is when you are like 27 to 33 years of age. And this is a small portion are the old chaps like me above 40. I think they are mostly PNP candidates, most probably, but who knows? IRCC does not release that level of details. Now let's talk about CRS score. Is very important to position yourself. Where do you stand and what are your chances? So from experience, I can tell you the average cutoff score is 475 points, and if you are near somewhere like 473, 72, if you're above, number one, so if you're above, then you don't have to worry. It's only a matter of time you will be invited. But you are somewhere like 470 to 475 is like really on the borderline. If they cut off the let's say they drop the cutoff by 2 points or something, you might get invited. But anyone who is below 470, they are like not going to be most probably invited. So they have to figure out, maybe upgrade their education, redo the IELTS, maybe combine their spouse and reapply and so on, right? They have to see those kind of things. And believe me, don't trust those agents or so-called consultants. They don't give true picture. They are looking for money instead of your immigration. All right, so here I see a whole lot of rainbow colors. Typically I would expect something like this, 3 max 4, but I see like 5 colors here. So let's see. So the green here represents the people who are having a score of 600 plus points. Most probably they were able to secure a job offer or provincial nomination, which is eventually a job offer actually. So there goes 35% almost. Then we have 15% people, they had a score of 500 to 600, followed by 26% people who, you can see the legion here by the way. So 26% of people, they were in a score bracket of 450 to 500, but again 450 here is misleading. They have grouped the data in a way, but in general I think is easily above 470, not 450. So take it with a pinch of salt. And then these people are surprised to me because the score here I can see is like below 450. So I cannot really explain at this point of time why these chaps would be invited. I can guess, but IRCC does not release any data. So maybe you can do your own research. It's a small shift in the trend, like 25%. All right. And then of course you can pause the video and study this graphic in detail. Now this is top 5 citizens who moved into Canada or who were invited into Canada, and this is my hot favorite. So we have got like top 5 citizens, and the total top 5 nationalities are like 15,000 invitations. Out of that, 11,000 goes to our friends in India. So that the purple is India. I don't know what the heck is going on with Canadian immigration system, but it seems it's heavily biased. Okay, so it's political correctness. So it's heavily tilted towards the Indians, which I really don't understand, because China is a big country, and I'm sure there are like many people, they might be willing to move away. But again, it's like if I do the percentage, how much is it? Like 66%, 11 or 15? Oh, 75%. So I mean, I don't really understand, like 75% here. If I do the calculation here, I'll find some similar percentage. I don't really understand how it is possible, but anyways, so big majority goes to India of invitation, I mean, and then we have a small portion going to China, and then Nigeria and whatnot. So that's the thing. And then yeah, maybe look at this one. So this breaks down top 15 citizens who moved into Canada by stream. So of course we've got India on the top. That's how it would look. Let's look at like top 5 for now. So we've got 10,000 or almost like 11,000 Indians, 1,000 Chinese, 2,000 Nigerians, and then Pakistanis and British nationals. That's very strange, small, very, very small. Pakistanis, by the way, they have been very small in general, followed by the British. Like, Indians have been having a lion's share of Canadian immigration. I think it's time for IRCC to rename themselves. I've been saying this for a few months now. IRCC should be like Indian refugees and citizens in Canada, because I don't know how a system could be so tilted in favor of one nationality. India is a big country, of course, but it doesn't mean like anyways. So let's move on. Okay, so if I break down Indian immigrants, we can see the stream. So big majority went via PNP. It means they were able to secure a job offer somehow. And Canadian experience class, I think these are the students. Maybe they went in there as a student, then they worked there for as a part-time, then maybe because many courses in Canadian universities, they give you PGWP, postgraduate work permit. So as a student, they work part-time. So if you work 2 years, you get 1 year of equivalency. Then if you get PGWP, which is usually equal to the term of your course. So if your course was like 3 years, you will get a 3 years PGWP work permit as a postgraduate for 3 years. So they typically match the duration of the course. So, and then you're eligible to apply in CEC. CEC is a good way to increase your chances of permanent settlement in Canada. So we can see the chaps here, our Indian friends, are using these two routes. And then Chinese, of course, we can see they moved in as a CEC, of course, same stuff. So you see, I mean, under the skilled workers program, nobody's moving there. The skilled workers are very low. I mean, for China, for India as well, majority is going in PNP, CEC, PNP and CEC here. Now, when you look at Nigerians, the trend is opposite. So skilled Nigerians are moving away, whereas PNP is number 2 in their case. Now, when I talk about my country, Pakistan, we have skilled workers more like Nigerians. So we have 50% coming from the FSW, and then remaining coming from PNP. Canadian experience class CEC is like very small. In general, the number is very small, by the way. So yeah, that's it. And the last thing I have, it always breaks. For some reason, I don't really understand. So I think I already opened the web page because I've been trying to refresh this before the video. Doesn't work. So let's go to the web page. This page actually is the distribution of candidates who are in the pool at this point of time. This data is like 10 days old from today, but it's very important to understand where do you stand in the competition. So total candidates are 215,000 people or candidates, and we can see a big majority is having a score of maybe, I need to break it down. So let's look at this. And if you remember, I said 450 is misleading because we can see it's a very small number. So majority is like going from here. So if I do a small sum here, so if I, oops, that's too big, but anyways, let's keep it. So I've got 16,000 people plus 9982 plus, that's enough, I think. So we've got almost 54,000 people over 215. So roughly 25%, right? So 25% of the total candidates in the pool, they are having a score of 470 and above. So it means these chaps are definitely getting invitation. It's just a matter of time. They will get it and they are good to move. So typically it takes 6 months. Once you're invited, it takes 6 months for you to do the documentation, prove whatever you claimed, and then you get visa stamped. And then these people, honestly, they are on the borderline. They can look into various options like improving their IELTS, upgrading their education, but upgrading education is a trade-off. For example, if you upgrade from graduate to master's, it takes 2 years. So you might get points for the education, but you will lose the point for age, right? So it's a trade-off. So you have to evaluate your individualistic situation. Maybe you can, if you are married, you have a spouse, you can maybe make a spouse a principal applicant, and maybe if they have experience, claim their experience, and so on, right? So these things you have to see. But don't pay money to your consultants, agents, because they are freaking liars. They don't tell you the true picture. Canadian system is very transparent. Either you fall in the cutoff or you don't. No agent can do anything, right? So don't buy their false promises and don't pay them money. Now these steps here, in my opinion, they have a very almost again 25%, I suppose. So 25% here, 25% there, and maybe 12% there. So roughly speaking, like 60 some percent of people are below 450, and in my opinion, they have a very, very remote chance. They must explore streams like PNP, or try to get a job offer somehow, or maybe go in as a student and then later apply under CEC. But if you are waiting and hoping that you will get an invitation under federal express entry, I think no, chances are very low. All right, so that's all I have in this video. The trends I can see are not shifting a lot, except for one surprise I had in there, which one? I think it was CRS, right? But to the most part, the stats here, other stats I mean, are quite static. So I hope this video helps. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye.